Okay, so I'm gonna start a video now. Hello guys. So I'm just gonna peep that out. Okay. I don't want to introduce myself. I don't want people to know me yet. I'm not even that famous yet, so yeah. I'm probably gonna edit my voice in this video, so let's get straight on what I'm gonna talk about in this video. So apparently, I don't know if you've seen the right grammar, so sorry. I mean, I'm Filipino, so I mean, I'm not saying that Filipinos are bad in English, but yep, I'm not that good. So let's get quick into the topic. This is gonna be a full. I mean, not a full tutorial. Maybe it can be like 5-part, 7-part series. So crush. So let's see. So crush. I'm gonna talk about crush this video. I mean, as you can see, I don't have this notebook. This is my school notebook. I mean, I don't have anything here that I'm gonna say. So all of the words that I'm gonna say here, just from my understanding. So some say crush. Some say it's like it's not like attraction and love yet. It's like stages of crush when you're preschool, elementary, high school, college, and adult. So crush, they say it's called pagkama. They say here in Filipino pagkama. So pagkama is, wait, let's Google it. I'm not sure if this is. I know the correct translation. So pagkama in English, pagkama in admiration. They say crush. It's admiration. Well, that works for most of it. Generally, I mean most of it. Not generally, yeah. I'd say like just most all the most people look at it as admiration. Well, the first start when you have a crush on a person, it's clearly first admiration. It matters on you on how you're gonna evolve that crush admiration thing. So the thing is, with the admiration, if this is one admiration, it can grow. As long as the more you admire a person, the more that you have like an admiration of the crush of that person, it grows. Like the longer you have it, until it becomes full. But it doesn't actually mean that when it becomes full, it would actually be you and that person. So, think that. What is this episode of admiration? What are the laws of admiration? Well, there's no laws of admiration. There's no like levels of admiration. But if I'm probably gonna talk about it, that's just my opinion on it. It's clearly all my babbling and babbling. So yep. Okay. Admiration. Now let's get to the thing of this. Admiration. It means that you admire the person. So let's try to be more specific here, okay? Say admiration. Admiration meaning, let's search for it. Respect and warm approval. Their admiration for each other was genuine, something regarded as impressive or worthy of respect. So respect that person, you admire it. Like you give respect to them, you give value to them. And yep. So what I do think here is that, you know, like in admiration, like there's those other lots of things that is actually there. What do you admire to that person? Now, this is when this parts come out. So this doesn't mean that you admire the person you have a crush on her or him. Say you admire her dad, you have a crush on her dad. You admire sister, you have a crush on your sister. That's it. So, why do you admire that person? Is it because that she has the good looks? Is it because that she's smart? Or he or she, that person smart? Or that person did like something good to you, like save your life or whatever it is? I don't know much yet because I'm still young. I guess I'm 39 years old. I mean, I'm not gonna say it, but blah blah. So, yep. Is that why? I mean, why do you admire this? You know, like, is it because like your crush? Because there's also a lot of things to consider admiration. That's why it's gonna be like a lot of parts of this. It's admiration, it just can't be your crush. Okay, you can admire, idol. That's one thing. With admiration, it's not just crush, but it's also idol, and then also the role model things. Like if let's say you admire um Elon Musk or you admire Donald Trump, there's no. It doesn't mean they actually have a crush on them. Yeah. So, but now I'm not gonna be focusing on all the celebrities. I'm gonna be focusing on crush. If we're gonna be actually doing the video on admiration, we're gonna what's all those other things. So let me get straight into it. Admiration, crush. So yeah, can be that save your life or like you love her, or like her visuals, or you actually um admire that person's attitude. Like say that you actually um appreciate that person's attitude. Well, first let's start with admiration and attitude. Admiration and attitude is probably the best thing to admire a person. It's probably the best thing to admire the person because visuals, things that with visuals, just like what they say, beauty is in the heart. You can actually tell that this person has good visuals. I mean, this actually mean that that person is wait. I'm gonna try something. Just wait for me. Okay, so, yep. Why is it the best reason? Just like what they say, beauty in the art. That's why it's the best. Um, like, I mind that person because of his or her attitude is the best thing. So, yep. I mean, beauty is in the heart, clearly, and also, you can't just love a person by looks. What if you actually don't like his or her attitude? So you would just like her looks, but then eventually, if you know her attitude, even though if he or she is like has a good face, like that certain face would get irritating to your eyes. So it's really important to actually know. That's why it's really important to actually admire a person by his or her like not face. Sorry, his or her attitude. Now, second is the visuals. I'm not saying that liking a person by its visuals or something is bad. What I want to say to you is that don't let the visuals fool you, because especially if you're like stalking someone like on the internet and you haven't actually met or him or her yet, this is gonna be bad because you're gonna start or you admire that person and you haven't actually know what or her like you actually know like his or her attitude. The thing is, their attitude, you won't know it, but you would actually already have like some expectations based on his or her appearance, and that is the main disadvantage of admiring a person by its actual like by a person's we call this person's visuals, because you're gonna expect a person's attitude by the looks, so that kind of makes you judgmental, and the more that you do that, for me, the more that you get judgmental, and the more that you get judgmental, that's gonna be bad. I mean, I'm not saying that you'll automatically get judgmental, but it's pretty much, like, just wait. So yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they're actually gonna be automatically judgmental, but you're slowly gonna turn into that, because, and also, it's just gonna disappoint you. I mean, you would be good if you expect this person to be like this because of his or her looks, and it actually is, or he or she is actually like it, then you're good. But then, if you're actually gonna expect for this person to be like this and this and this and this because of his or her looks, and then you actually got wrong. It's gonna be painful. They would expect this person to actually be your number one like the guy that you've been waiting for, the girl that you've been waiting for. They're even actually waiting for, and then all of a sudden it's not. She's absolutely not, and then or he or she is absolutely not, and then like that's just not your side. Yeah, so I'm gonna explain more of that next video, next part. Now, last part is having admiration for that person because of he or she something did good to you. Maybe she let you borrow a pen. He or she let you borrow the pen. That person shared some answers on the test. That person saved you from the bullies. That person saved your life, or any kind of some kind of really important thing that she did to you. So, Scotland, the thing is that if you, well, let's say something. So, let's see. In-depthness. So, if you have in-depthness in that person, and then you admire them, most of the people are just gonna say that you actually love that person, or you actually admire that person, or you actually have trust in that person, it's because you have in-depthness in them. Then they're gonna think of it that if you don't actually have that in-depthness, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but they're gonna say that you don't actually admire that person. That it's just fake. That if that person did actually save your life and actually did good to you, you're basically just loving or admiring that person because of that, and they're also gonna say that you're just like plastic and you just like you just mind that person because the good thing that actually gives you, that actually done to you, maybe that person gave you money. Well, that is the most negative thing. But then it isn't actually the meaning yet. It doesn't mean that if you admire that person because he or she did something good to you, it doesn't mean that you just admire that person because of that. Maybe you admire him because of other reasons as well. Maybe you're actually sincere. Maybe that's actually the reason, but then it's not just that it's that person did to you. Like you appreciate it, you know. Maybe you really actually like admire it. Maybe actually like it really means something, and that is the really good thing if you actually just don't admire the person because that it she or he or she did to you. So that's a good thing if you actually just admire that person because of that. If you have a much more deeper understanding, I just think that you shouldn't like think of what people would say. Just follow your feelings. That's all I can say. So yeah, that's 30 minutes part 2. I'm gonna be posting it next time.